Shopify's point of sale system helps you sell at every stage of your business. Need a fast and secure way to take payments in person? We've got you covered. How about card readers you can rely on anywhere you sell?
Thanks. Have a good one.
Yep, that too. Want one place to manage all your online and in-person sales? That's kind of our thing. Wherever you sell, businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial at shopify.com/listen. Shopify.com/listen.
Warning. On this podcast, we take the cases seriously, but not ourselves.
Although, we may attempt to lighten the mood at times.
Our episodes contain graphic descriptions that some listeners may find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised.
Right, we're back for a bonus episode.
No, we're not.
Christmas!
No. I don't know if we've mentioned it before. I think we have. Neil is very active in his sleep. He beats the shite out of me on I don't know if I'd say a weekly basis. Definitely monthly. If Neil has a bad dream, say, he can start flailing about, shouting, and I have to kind of hold him down, calmly wake him up. Yeah.
Mm.
And kind of relax you. Sometimes you're kicking, punching, very, very animated.
Part of being in a relationship.
But I don't...
Living with the other person's little quirks.
Little quirks. I'm black and fucking blue. Yeah, but no, the bad dreams and all that, like, you know, of course I'm going to help you. When you're just knocking 7 shades of shite out of me, it is a bit difficult. But the reason I bring it up is because Neil has now escalated to eye gouging. He stuck his finger directly into my eye socket the other night. I woke up, I was in pain, obviously. And he's like, I'm sorry. And he was half asleep. He didn't even fully wake up. Went back to sleep and I'm there like holding my eye. About 2 hours later, I woke up, got up for the day. My eye was blurry for hours.
I don't know what happened.
I don't. I woke up, so you were kind of like laid against me and you had your like hand on me and you just literally straight up into my eye. Just straight up, it was so deliberate. Just straight into my left eye.
Well, I was going to make the joke when you were saying about kicking you and punching you.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to make the joke that, how do you know I'm asleep? But I wouldn't eye gouge. No,
so, if you had woke up during it, you would have been just as horrified to know that you had touched my eyeball.
I remember leaning over you and you and you holding your eye.
Yeah.
And do you know what really I got going through my head? No to do with me.
Somehow, I didn't think it would be to do with you. After I got over the initial shock and horror, do you know what came into my mind?
What?
I hope he hasn't been scratching his arse because now I'm going to get pink eye. I'm deadly serious. That genuinely came into my mind. But yeah, no, if you see me out in the street with a black eye or something, Neil's not he is in his sleep, but he's not meaning to.
Yeah.
He is just very violent in his sleep.
Yeah.
But you get like night terrors though, like full on.
I had one not last night, the night before. We went to bed at about because we'd got work the next day and we were getting up at like 4:30 in the morning. And we went to bed at about 10:30, 11.
Mm-hmm.
It was around midnight I woke up and then I couldn't get back to sleep for ages. I set Norman on fire.
Oh, you said this to me. I asked for more details and you didn't really give them. Like if I say to you after, like when you've just woke up,
yeah,
you're actually kind of a bit in distress and you don't really want to talk about it a lot of the time.
Yeah, so we weren't in our house. I don't know where we were.
Mm.
And I was fucking about with balls of paper, setting them on fire.
Of course, yes.
And knocking them about and stuff.
Like juggling or?
No, using my hand like a tennis racket. I was like throwing them up in the air and whacking them.
Okay.
In
So
the
more jackass kind of.
yeah.
Okay.
And then I hit one directly at Norman. You told me to stop, and I didn't.
Mhm.
And then I hit one, and it hit Norman, and Norman just went up in flames.
He would. He's very fluffy.
And in the dream, we put him out, and he were alive. But then you turned on me, and
I turned on you
I think when I woke up, you were kicking me out
of my life,
of the house.
and possibly later my life.
Yeah,
You set my dog on fire.
yeah. Yeah, it took me about 2 hours to get back to sleep.
Mm.
It did shake me a bit.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, yeah.
It kind of. Do you know why it's so? Do you know why it's so funny to me? Because my dreams, like, I don't dream as much as you.
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost more rare for me to dream, and when I do, I mean, it could be something normal or it's something really out there. Like, I mean, could be anything. But actually, about 2 weeks ago, I had a dream that you got attacked.
Oh, I got killed.
Well, I don't know if you were dead yet. We were trying to get you help. We were locked inside the house. Someone came at your neck with a saw.
I was dead.
Yeah, and we got you inside the house, and this like killer, stalker, attacker person was just lingering outside. Basically, it was like an 80s slasher movie, but it was my dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone came at my neck with a saw. I'm dead.
Well, no, I mean, I don't know. You're bleeding out a lot, but I woke up before.
I would, yeah.
I woke up before we came to the conclusion. So I'm not quite sure when I go back into dreamland if you're kicking about or not. But yeah, no, I just don't dream as much as you. You have a lot, and they're always really kind of vivid, it seems.
Yeah.
Which is funny because you told me that you can't picture stuff in your head, and you don't have like that narrator thing in your head either.
When I'm awake, yeah.
Yeah, but your dreams are just like fucking wild.
Maybe that's the thing. It all happens when I'm asleep. I use it all up. Is that funny?
A little bit, yeah. Right, so anyway, we've got a shout out today. No, say it. Say it.
We do indeed.
Yeah. Our shout out today is for Karen.
Right.
Car.
Right. Let me limber up for this one. I need to stretch. While you say yours, let me do some stretches.
Well, Car was the first one, the very obvious one. And the first thing that came to my mind of anything related to it is, honey, what's this? What's happening? What's going on? Who's this meant to be?
That's the first thing.
Yes, the first reference I have to the name Karen is Karen Walker, the great Karen Walker of Will and Grace.
You know what's the first thing that comes to mind for me? I want to see a manager. I'm angry.
Yeah.
Because you're happy.
Because you're happy.
So we could give her the nickname like Manager Seeker.
Manager Seeker.
Manager Seeker, Manager Lurker.
Well,
Manager
do you know,
Lurker.
Karen Walker from Will and Grace, that's who she was essentially.
What?
She was always just causing trouble and being, you know, a bitch to everyone.
But they just see fun and they're like, stop it. Karen wasn't like that.
I mean, she, depending on who you were, she very much was. She would put you in your place.
I don't know what she was thinking, joining Patreon with the name Karen. She must have known what was coming. I think I want to see a manager is a nickname.
I thought it was Manager Seeker.
Or Lurker, which is better.
Mm.
Manager Seeker.
Either way, Karen, the point we're making is don't be coming for mortal support, you know. We're not going to entertain it.
We'll just tell you to fuck off.
Yeah, this is outrageous. Sick of it.
We don't really have a complaints department.
No.
But if we did, we'd just tell you to fuck off.
We actually do. It's, you know, we print it off and then we just put it straight into the bin.
Yeah.
Next to the desk.
Yeah. But thank you for the support.
Yeah, all that is to say thank you. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Manager Seeker.
Mortal Manager Seeker. You gotta keep with the theme.
Yeah, that is probably the best way of mortal manager.
just shoehorn the reference to the show in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Speaking of support, you can also head over to Patreon and subscribe and get plenty of bonus content, relatively speaking. Or if not, feel free to leave us a rating and review. It really helps the podcast, and we appreciate you.
Speaking of reviews, we actually uploaded this on our Instagram story. This needed highlighting, and I'm going to announce it on the episode. This review is 5 stars. It's from Kevin the Kidney Kidnapper.
Very proud of that name I gave him. That's one of my favourite ones.
So the title of the review is Pure Fun. Always interesting and entertaining. Megan seems too smart for Neil, but that is part of the fun. Neil is not quite the dunderhead he hopefully pretends to be. Otherwise, Megan is truly a saint. Look forward every week to their thoughtful cases.
Bang on,
Bastard.
right there. I am an absolute saint.
Now, what makes it funny is I was putting it as an Instagram story and I turned to Megan and I went, hang on, is that offensive? What's a dunderhead?
I hadn't actually heard it before. I could take a guess what it meant, but I hadn't heard it before.
So it was ironic that he was calling me a dunderhead and I was having to look up what dunderhead meant. I didn't know because I was stupid.
Well, I'm in the same boat as you here. I didn't fucking know. Thank you, Kevin. We appreciate you.
Fuck you, Kevin. So, what have you got for us today?
Today, we are going to be talking about the Blue Whale Challenge. Now, not a lot is really known about this so-called online challenge, even to the point of whether it ever really existed. And a lot of what has been reported about it is speculation and attempting to decipher fact from fiction. So, with that said, we'll approach this topic as such, and will not assume that any of these cases are necessarily influenced or as a result of said challenge. We'll take it as more of a discussion.
Okay. Is blue whale a thing?
What do you mean?
Like, is that a type of whale?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, although it is not confirmed to be connected, one case that some have questioned whether it could possibly be linked with this challenge is Andrei Emelianenko and the murder of Sergei Danilov. Now, if you hadn't guessed, we're going to Russia today. And
I have to be Russia with names like that?
Well, I'm just saying a lot of the names are difficult for me to pronounce.
Well,
or, I'm trying my best. Well, when someone who speaks Russian said to me, bless you, when I told them I was going to be covering a Russian case, that put me in my place of pronunciation. I was like, okay.
So you thought you'd do another one?
Yes. Try your best, Mean no disrespect if I'm pronouncing shit wrong, Andrei Emelianenko was described as quiet, kind, and withdrawn. A calm, decent person. He loved sci-fi, enjoyed playing video games, and in his earlier years, he did well in school, had good relationships with his teachers, never got into fights or even raised his voice.
Fuck off. Never raised his voice.
I was never loud in school.
He played video games. Tell me
Right.
he didn't
I played video games. No, I was not screaming people. I think that's more in reference to his relationships with people. But no, the type of games I was playing, I wasn't really I wasn't like Call of Duty type player.
You camping fuck.
Again, I wasn't.
You fucking camping bastard.
I wasn't a Call of Duty player. I wasn't like screaming at people. And then when I was a kid, online gaming wasn't a thing.
Lousy cheating cunt.
After the 4th grade, his family made the decision to homeschool Andrei. And by 2017, Andrei was 18 years of age and attending Moscow's West Complex Continuing Education College. During this time, Andrei had told a friend of his that he had become tired of school. One of his classes was health and safety, and his teacher was a man named Sergei Danilov. Now, Sergei was a former army officer and was said to have been loved by his students. A strict but fair instructor who was kind and sympathetic towards his students. Quote, "He was a good man who never failed you and was always there for you. He gave you a chance to make up work correct your mistakes.
Know it all.
Well, Andrei wasn't too keen on him. Andrei and Sergei's relationship did not reflect those of the other students. There had been altercations between the two previously. Other students said that Sergei was always giving out to Andrei, who was quite often, while in class, watching playthroughs, predominantly of first-person shooter video games on his phone.
Like Call of Duty?
Well, that's what they said, but I read that his favourite video game was Resident Evil.
I wouldn't call that a first-person shooter. It's
Like, that's the thing. Like, when I hear first-person shooter, my mind immediately goes to, like, Call of Duty, Halo type thing.
Battlefield.
I kind of picture Resident Evil in a different genre. You know what I mean? I always kind of think that, I mean, technically, but horror.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
Shit.
There was rumours that Andrei was on the verge of being expelled as a result of his behaviour. And on the 1st of November 2017, while between lessons, Andrei attacked Sergei within the classroom. Andrei walked up behind his teacher and stabbed him in the neck.
Fucking hell.
Mm-hmm.
When you said attacked him, I thought it was just a bit of a punch-up.
No, he went to hurt him. He went to kill him. As Sergei laid on the floor, bleeding out from his injury, Andrei posed for pictures. One shows him holding a hunting knife next to a circular saw, and he also took photos of him standing over Sergei's body. He then posted the photos on the social media site VK with the hashtag 11117.
What's VK?
VK is VKontakte. It's a social media site, Russian social media site similar to Facebook.
Right, okay.
Following this, Andrei took his own life using the circular saw. Now, the hashtag used was the date of the murder, but Andrei had been using this hashtag on his posts for a while now, leading authorities and other users of this site to believe this murder was premeditated. Another member of a social media group, which Andrei was a part of, said that he had spoke of killing his teacher before. Quote, "A couple of months ago, he complained about his health and safety teacher, even saying that he would kill him sooner or later. But it is a common thing on our forum. Our guys often throw out threats to kill somebody, so we don't pay attention." After the murder, the school decided to bring in the students to talk with psychologists. They wanted to figure out how the students felt about what had happened. Did they have any opinions or ideas as to why Andrei had committed this murder-suicide? Although Andrei seemed to have thought so, it appears by other students' accounts, Sergei was not the type of teacher to unfairly target a student. Quote, "In any situation, he always remained human, and he was always ready to help. He didn't try to sabotage anyone. The talk about him harassing students is all lies. It's just ridiculous. He was a decent man. There wasn't anything off about him, and he wasn't at all angry or cruel."
See, I don't know it. I don't know where my head's at with that, because so I had a teacher at school who, from the first time we met, so I was at that school from year 7 to year 11, and he targeted me from the moment he met me. But he didn't target anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've talked about it multiple times, and it is definitely a thing when a teacher takes against one specific student for whatever twisted reason they have. But in this case, going by the accounts from other students of his character, as well as Andrei having become restless and disrespectful in his classes, it seems a possibility that Andrei may have been victimising himself, possibly trying to antagonise Sergei into being the bad guy to somewhat justify his feelings towards him. But having said that, we don't know the full situation, and, you know, I've been on the same page as you. When you have that teacher that just takes against you,
Yeah. Well, so like our very first encounter was when I was in year 7. I was, so I'd have been 12. So he was our year head, but he was also a PE teacher. And the first time I clapped eyes on him, he was wearing a polo top, shorts, white socks, and trainers. The polo top was tucked into his shorts, but he was carrying a briefcase.
This is not a good visual.
So he overheard me say, that twat just wants to look important with his briefcase.
What, so you think from you saying that, he was like, fuck that guy. Sorry, fuck that child.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I won't go that far.
Bollocks to that child.
Yeah. So yeah, that was 5 years of targeting because of that comment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He was called Neil as well.
What a prick. Andre didn't leave any clear motive for the murder of his teacher or his suicide. But like I previously mentioned, some believe that Andre may have been participating in the Blue Whale Challenge. The Blue Whale Challenge first emerged in 2016. There seems to be a lot of mystery surrounding this phenomenon. Even the origin of the challenge's title, Blue Whale, is unknown. Some believe inspiration was taken from the lyrics of a song by the Russian band Lumen. Others believe it is in reference to blue whales beaching themselves, causing them to die.
So this challenge, is it Russian or worldwide?
So it's believed to have originated in Russia, but it has spread.
Right, okay.
The challenge is alleged to involve an online administrator or taskmaster who sets a goal for the player to complete 50 tasks over the course of 50 days. So I suppose sort of a sub-dom type relationship between the player and the administrator. The tasks start off relatively benign, things like wake up at a specific time during the night or watch a certain horror movie. But they gradually escalate to the more dangerous and troubling requests such as self-harm and mutilation and ultimately suicide.
And what do they think they get at the end? Do they think
It's a game. It's, do you know, like when people say you just lost the game?
yeah?
It's meaningless. It's nothing.
So why do they do it?
Well, like I said at the start of the episode, we don't even really know if this ever really existed. Now, I know that's very confusing, but we're going to talk about it and it's going to kind of start to unravel.
Okay.
The challenge is thought to have originated in Russia, but concerns have grown in other countries such as India and the US, among others. But there's still the question, did this game ever really exist?
Probably.
Well, of course that is a possibility, but it's also not unusual for people to surround themselves with others who are in a similar situation to them. Whether this be in regards to hobbies and interests, or those who seek the comfort of others due to their shared experiences or feelings. It's entirely likely that people who are already dealing with suicidal ideation are going to join groups of this nature. Not necessarily that they would join them and then begin the formation of these thoughts. On the 23rd of November 2015, a 16-year-old girl named Rina Palenkova died by suicide. Rina laid her neck onto the tracks and waited for the approaching train.
Fucking hell. To lay and hear that train coming.
Rina lived in Usurisk with her mother, and she described Rina as a bright girl who loved to sing and dance, a talented drummer who played in a band alongside her friends. According to reports, the year before her death, Rina had entered into a relationship, but troubles soon arose. This was said to have affected Rina's eating habits, her sleeping pattern, and she had started to withdraw, spending more and more time online, specifically on social media. The day before her death, Rina posted a photograph of herself to VK. The photo shows Rina stood by the train tracks. She's wearing a pink beanie hat, headphones, with a scarf pulled up covering her mouth and nose. She's wearing fingerless gloves and sticking up her middle finger, and there appears to be blood on her finger. She captions the photo, Naya Poka. Naya meaning meow in Japanese and Poka meaning bye in Russian. About a week after Rina had died, a post was put up on VK in a group called F57. This group usually shared darker shock value content, such as dismemberment or suicide. In this group, someone gave Rena the serial number 1 and said that Rena was the first in a new trend which was driving teenagers to suicide. Her death was widely spoke of within many of these social media groups, and she became sort of a cult figure. But, as with Andre, we don't actually know the truth behind Rena's suicide.
So, I know this is only the first 2, but I'm not seeing a connection. So, I can understand why people are saying, but this game, it might just be a myth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's very definitely, to do with this challenge, there's very definitely a lot of people kind of like desperately wanting to connect.
Yeah.
These cases.
People want it to be a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
On Christmas Day 2015, 12-year-old Angelina Davidova ended her life by jumping from the 14th floor of the building where she lived.
12?
12 years old.
Fucking hell.
A few weeks later, 16-year-old Diana Kuznetsova jumped from the roof of a 9-story building. She died while in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. Both of these girls lived in the city of Ryazan, and both had been part of social media groups which displayed images of Rena among other posts pertaining to suicide. And both girls were said to have had drawings of blue whales in their bedrooms. Diana's father, Sergei, begins to investigate. He looks into further deaths, attempting to link them, even appearing on television to speak on the matter. He also formed the group alongside Angelina's parents, Saving Children from Cybercrime. On the 16th of May 2016, the Novaya Gazeta published an article titled Death Groups, in which they estimated that 130 children's suicides between November 2015 and April 2016 may be linked through their participation in these online groups on VK.
Fucking hell.
It was also said that adults were the ones behind these groups. They were the one driving children to this.
See, I'd got it in my head if it was a thing, that it'd be teenagers.
Yeah. A lot of the time behind these kind of trends and the kind of darker shit that's pushing people or allegedly influencing them, it's usually people of a similar age group. So,
this isn't linked, but it was only the other day that I was hearing about another sort of trend. It's not a trend. I don't want to call it a trend. There is these Discord servers where if you want to be a part of them, you have to send a video to the admin of the Discord server. And if the admin is impressed, then they'll let you in the server. These videos, I haven't seen any. I don't want to see any. But I've watched a video of someone else watching one of these videos, and he was basically describing what he was seeing. More often than not, it's murder. Like, I don't want to be, I don't want it to get too graphic, but yeah, it's mostly murder, and it usually involves vulnerable people, whether they're young or old. And it's just, when I saw that, it's just like, where is this world going to? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, I have heard that about I don't know, but I have heard that about Discord.
Yeah.
That Discord is quite often used to arrange illicit affairs.
Terror attacks?
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know it to be true, but for some reason, Discord seems to be the one.
Yeah, I don't know why.
So, the article about these so-called death groups, within 24 hours, the article was approaching 1 million views. It caused mass alarm, and given the contents, it's not surprising. But the publication was also widely criticised, as the deaths had not been definitively linked to these groups. And there appears to have been little to back up many of the claims or insinuations made within this article. For example, one of the experts listed was a psychologist in training and also the son of the author of this article. It also seems that quite a large portion of the source material came from the family of one of the teenage girls who had died. So, information which had been privately investigated by a grieving family desperately trying to seek the answer. The figure of 130 is an assumption. The reporter who wrote this article said, quote, "This number 130 wasn't based on the conclusion of one father who lost his child. No, this is absolutely wrong. It was based on the conclusions of over 200 parents who lost their children. The father of the girl who died just helped during that period of time. I don't have any reason not to trust them. I checked many things." So yeah, I want to hear both sides of it, but I checked many things.
Yeah.
Maybe that's slightly getting lost in translation, but it just it sounds a bit like, no, I did it.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I did it.
It's been very vague.
The problem is, that doesn't matter now. Regardless of the facts, the idea was put out there, and widespread panic had set in. In March of 2017, 15-year-old Yulia Konstantinova and 16-year-old Veronika Volkova jumped from a 14-storey building. In the days leading up to her death, Yulia posted a photo of a blue whale on her Instagram account. Not long after this, it was thought that the deaths of 2 teenagers in the US could be linked to the Blue Whale Challenge, and then a further 2 deaths in India, again with questions regarding influence from this challenge.
Do you want my opinion?
Of course.
I don't think the Blue Whale Challenge was a thing, but because of the speculation and stuff, it made it a thing.
Bingo.
That's what I think it is.
100%.
People,
100%.
yeah. Just because of the rumours of it, it made it a thing.
Yes. Essentially, that's my belief, yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm smart. Well, I'm on the same level as you.
Not great. Not something to write home about.
Yeah.
According to the Prosecutor General's office, 62% of adolescent suicides in Russia are related to family conflicts, including violence, general problems, and conflicts with teachers, classmates, and friends. According to narcom.ru, in 1998, 20,600 children and adolescents died from unnatural causes in Russia, and these numbers were said to have increased in the years that followed. Although we're going back decades with these figures, the reason why it's important to consider is that, even without teenagers being chronically online, we're still talking about incredibly high numbers. It was reported that in 2013, Russia had the highest rate of suicides within this age range in Europe, with 461 deaths that year. And in 2011, UNICEF reported that Russia had the 3rd highest suicide rates within this age group in the world.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Groups that may influence or post these things and further a narrative, of course they can be harmful and dangerous.
Yeah.
But we need to be addressing the bigger issue. The Federal Service for Supervision of Communications, Information Technology and Mass Media, along with the Federal Service for Surveillance on Consumer Rights, Protection and Human Wellbeing, announced that they will begin a joint investigation following the assertions made within the Death Group's article. And it was also proposed to introduce a criminal offence for those who incite suicide online. In November of 2016, 21-year-old Philip Bodekin was arrested. He was charged with inciting teenagers to commit suicide. Philip was a former psychology student, an aspiring music producer. He told police that he started the game in 2013. The name of this game was F57. Although it was a simple formation, it didn't stop people trying to decode what the true meaning of this title was, which apparently greatly entertained Philip. F was for the sound of the start of his name, and 57, the last digits of his phone number. There's no great mystery, there's nothing to decipher here really.
Yeah.
But of course, people are like, what does it mean? What does it mean?
There's a lot of like YouTubers and stuff. They'll have usernames.
Mm-hmm.
And people for years will be like,
Yes.
I don't get it. Why that name?
There was a YouTuber I watched, and for years no one knew what his name was. He finally announced the true meaning behind it. It's like, oh, that's boring now.
Yeah.
I didn't want to know. I liked the mystery. Philip is alleged to have said, quote, "There are people, and then there is biodegradable waste. I was cleansing our society of such people. Sometimes I start to think that it's wrong. But in the end, I had the feeling I was doing the right thing." If you look at the situation from above, what did I do? I explained to some people in a well-reasoned manner why I think they're better off dead than alive. Nothing more.
Knobhead.
Just a little bit.
He does. He thinks he's your man from Saw.
Well, although there was talks of, the 130 deaths linked to these groups, Philip said that he interacted with 17 people and called the Novaya Gazetta's investigation, quote, pathetic.
Okay.
On the 10th of May 2017, Philip pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 3 years. Most of the charges were dropped as, again, they can't be proven. Now, like I mentioned, Philip was an aspiring music producer. When he initially started the group, he was attempting to promote. And how do a lot of people promote? Shock value. You only have to venture onto YouTube to be inundated with shock horror thumbnails, or another perfect example is true crime podcasts. A hell of a lot of true crime content creators choose to use shocking titles or images in an attempt to entice people in.
Yeah.
And Philip was no different. Within his group, he drew people in with posts about Rina Palenkova and suicide in order to later promote his music. Whatever the case may be in regards to Philip and his intentions, it appears there is nothing to definitively link or prove that this so-called challenge has directly influenced or caused the deaths of many of these young people. And the parents of these children are, understandably, desperate to come to some kind of conclusion or reason for why this has happened to their child. Having said that, without being able to disprove it, and whether or not it was real to begin with, there's certainly a concern of it becoming real. With the case of Andre, it could be that he participated in these groups which contain darker content, but most likely he sought them out rather than having been influenced by them. Hoax or not, once you put something out there, in a sense, it sort of becomes real. The story of Slender Man is a perfect example. It's sort of the digital age of folklore that did actually go on to influence the attempted murder of a young girl perpetrated by two 12-year-old girls.
Oh, yeah, there was something in the media about that. She got out.
Very recently, yeah.
She cut the bracelet off, didn't she? And she got out, yeah. But they got her again.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, again, like I said, that's the example. Slender Man's not real.
Yeah.
It was never, he or some killer like him was never real.
Yeah.
But it influenced people.
Yeah.
Alexandra Arkhipova, a professor of folklore studies at the Russian State University for the Humanities, said that, while her and her co-worker entered these groups to research, all of the curators of these challenges turned out to be children between the ages of 12 and 14. A far cry from the proposed networks of sinister adults plotting the demise of these young people. And it also appeared that a lot of these kids were copycatting what they had seen in the media regarding this challenge.
Exactly.
She said, quote, "In all of these groups, people, mainly young people, were waiting for this game. This game never starts." Journalist Yevgeny Berg compared the situation to the story of the Pied Piper. But instead of the so-called taskmaster being the menacing figure in this, it seems more fitting to attribute the title to the author of the article Death Groups. As far as I am aware, no death has been confirmed to be linked to this challenge to date. But with that said, outside of cases of assisted suicide, how can we ever really prove it? The sad reality is that, yes, these tragic events do happen. And yes, there are predatory people with sinister intentions online. But we can't just put 2 and 2 together and come up with 5. Instead of raising awareness on this issue, it felt as though the entire story took on a more exploitative tone. And that is the case of the Blue Well Challenge and the alleged death groups. Neil, any comments?
It's bullshit.
I think you're pretty much on the same page as me here.
Bullshit. Everyone just jumped on a fake Everyone just jumped on a fake bandwagon. So it wasn't a thing, but because the rumours and the speculations were there, people jumped on it and basically then it started.
Yep. 100%. I personally believe that. Of course, there was content out there. And assuming at least some of Philip's admissions are truthful, yes, it was happening to a degree.
Yeah.
But not this Blue Well Challenge as such that the media has created.
Yeah. So, right, I'm bad with names. So the first one you talked about.
Andre is a separate thing.
Yeah. He wanted to do something shock value before he committed suicide. The second one,
Rena.
that could be anything. That could be just depression. It could be like
We can take a guess from what we know. We can take a guess that Rena was a teenager.
Yeah.
She could, like I said, she could have been going through some difficulties, possibly depression. She was in a relationship where she was having issues.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, she was struggling to see a way out of it. Which is very fucking sad. And, her whole story got exploited. I mean, like, her image was everywhere, memes, everything just constantly being shared around these groups.
Yeah.
Like I said, Rena essentially became a cult figure. And it's sad.
Yeah.
But like the reason why I included Andre's case, it's not it's not widely linked, but some have suggested, and that's exactly the point of this. There's nothing to say it's linked. The only connection appears to be that he posted online about these things.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the point of this episode. You're putting two and two together and coming up with 5.
Yeah.
We've got to remember that in Russia, there are higher rates of suicide among young people. That's happening. We've also got to factor in that everyone, but particularly younger people, are online all the fucking time. They're always using social media. So,
yeah.
Yes, there is some truth to it. And yes, with what Philip is said to have done, there are those people out there.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean there's this kind of network of criminals trying to encourage people to do this.
Like, I'm not saying this is going to fix the issue, but all it can do is help. I think all countries should be following suit with Denmark. The Denmark have put the age, is it 14 for a social media account?
I've no idea what you're talking about.
I think it's Denmark. They've made it a law that.
But how? Same way I said about like the suicides. How do you prove or disprove something like that, and how do you police that? Realistically, how do you police it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult. I think the problem is, like we've both said, regardless of the facts, none of it negates that it's out there now and it has sort of been forced into existence.
Yeah.
And that whether that means that there's many people participating or not, the notion is there. I think another good point to do with something like this, whenever it's a case involving vulnerable people, I mean, emotions are higher. And I don't know whether people are going to agree with me on this or not. I think sometimes if you're a parent, it can be hard to take the emotions out of it and look at something from a logical standpoint. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a kid. I can look at something more from the outside and kind of, it's slightly more like, my emotions aren't interfering as drastically as someone who immediately goes, oh my God, if that was my child.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean?
See,
sometimes you need the emotional drive to do something and sometimes it can hinder you.
So like, it's also a bit easier for a parent of a child what's committed suicide to blame this game
Mm-hmm.
being a thing.
Yeah.
Rather than, facing facts that child must have been depressed and I didn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much easier to go, that fucking game.
Yeah. I mean, we see it a lot with other challenges and shit like that. And it is the whole thing. I brought it up earlier. They're just so desperate to find an answer. And I feel for them. I really fucking do. You know, it must be fucking horrific to be in that situation. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's the right conclusion to come to.
Yeah.
It's just fucking shit. And it's a very, very dark topic. But yeah, that's the Blue Whale Challenge.
I don't even like whales.
Whale's the place, or...
Oh, both, actually, yeah.
Yeah. The way you said it, to me, it sounded like the place, which,
So, oddity.
The Butt Sniffer.
Is this about me?
In August of this year, 38-year-old Khalees Crowder was arrested for allegedly sniffing the arse of a woman in Walgreens. Khalees was known to the police as the Butt Sniffer, and apparently known to the store's employees who phoned the police. He had previously inhaled in the vicinity of a woman's backside at a Nordstrom rack in Burbank.
Inhaled? You have to say it like that.
How do you want me to say it?
Just fucking just sniff.
You want me to turn this into an ASMR thing?
Yeah.
Now, the Nordstrom rack happening was only a month previous to the Walgreens arse sniffing incident. But Khalees is a registered sex offender with a history of similar offences in the Glendale and Burbank area of California, and his crimes date back to 2021. At the time of his most recent offence, Khalees was out on parole. For his lewd behaviour in July, he was charged with 1 count of loitering with intent to commit a crime. He'd only been out for 2 weeks as well. 2 weeks? And you're going to be doing this? Come on.
What are we doing here, Meg?
There was also allegedly a TikTok video of him from 2023 where he can be seen crouching behind a woman in a Barnes & Noble.
Nope.
No what?
Like, what? And people just... This is out in public and people are witnessing this and not doing anything.
What do you mean?
Doesn't have to be a woman I know. Doesn't have to be a woman. A man. If someone is crouched behind, sniffing the hole off them, and they don't know, I would go over and kick them.
You're not necessarily going to know. I imagine he's a little bit sneaky with how he's doing it.
No, but you got to get close enough to get the flavour. Well, not the flavour, but you get what I mean. The scent.
But do you think he's just like trodden up in a pair of work boots, fucking clumping about?
No.
He's going to be a little bit like a cat.
Yeah.
Like a cat. Neil.
I get that to the person who's having their arse sniffed.
Yes.
I'm talking about, imagine you're sat in a bus shelter and a woman walks past with a bloke crouched.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say it was at a bus stop. This is all in shops, within aisles.
No, but that's...
He's going to find an aisle. He's going to fucking stalk her through the aisles and find.
I'm just using, all right, in a shop.
Mm-hmm.
So you're there, getting your tuna.
Yeah, a little bit of tuna.
Bit of your mackerel.
Sorry, actually, no, hang on. Just before we move on, hold that thought. Because this is something that bothers me. Tuna is very common over here.
Yeah.
When I say over here, I mean like European countries.
Yeah.
We all eat it.
Yeah.
We love it. I always hear Americans say, like, fucking dog shit, I wouldn't eat that. The hell's up with their tuna?
It's American. They add
ours
shit
is
to
lovely.
everything.
But ours is lovely. What the hell?
Yeah, but ours is just tuna.
They always say it's like dog food in a tin. I'm like, what? Americans, tell me what's going on with your tuna, please. Yeah. Or tuna fish, as you guys say.
Tuna.
Sorry, go on.
All right, so you're in Tesco.
Get me tuna.
You're getting your tuna.
And mackerel.
Loaf of bread.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got your bread, you turn to walk away.
Yeah.
And you see a woman walking.
And the arse sniffer following behind.
With a man crouched, walking behind her, sniffing the hole.
But he's not doing that. He's going, when a woman is stood there, right? So I'm stood there. Say it's me. I'm the victim of the arse sniffer.
Yeah.
It's arse sniffer because in Ireland, we probably say arse sniffer.
Yeah.
I'm there reaching, I can't quite reach me tuna. I'm just gonna fucking fiddle about here in the shelves trying to read. Oh, look, that's in brine. I don't want brine. I want sunflower oil.
Yeah.
You know, push that to the side. So I'm busy. Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
I'm preoccupied with my tuna selection. I also like to get the drain tins. So I finally find the sunflower oil, but it's full. It's not the drained one.
Right.
So now that's another 10, 20 seconds I'm fiddling about trying to find that. Meanwhile, fucking sniffing bandit is behind me, having the time of his life. I'm preoccupied, Neil. Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, but while you're doing that,
you're in another aisle looking at crisps.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on in the tuna aisle.
But there is going to be another member of public go onto that aisle and see someone with the nose up your ass.
You don't know. So sometimes clearly he's been caught out. There's multiple incidents that have happened and been reported for. But you don't know. Like, he's obviously going to have a little bit of savvy about him to be like, well, she's going to the tuna aisle now. Follow her down there.
No, but what I'm saying is, so you've said he has been seen. He has been caught. How has he not took a public kicking?
Maybe he has. I don't know his entire story, Neil.
Okay, well, that's all I was asking.
What is happening? So, lads, anyway, if you're in that area, watch your back, literally. And if you believe...
End.
Yes. And if you believe you may have been a victim of the butt sniffer, police are urging you to come forward and contact the Burbank police station.
Well, I have an alibi.
That kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't ask you. I didn't accuse you. I didn't allege nothing.
You're my alibi.
Well, I do know you've got a bit of a history there. You know what I'm saying? But Neil, I do want to ask you, what would you do if someone was just crouched down behind you, smelling your hole? Not talking about me. We're not talking about you being the hero running in, save me from the arse sniffer.
Fart.
What would you do? What?
Fart on him. Pull my cheeks apart and fart on him.
So you'd let them crouch down there and you'd be like, hang on a sec. Let me just spread me cheeks.
Well, that's just my fun, my more humorous answer.
What if that spurred them on?
Yeah, it probably would. So, I wouldn't do that. Where am I?
We're in Tesco. Not tuna. You don't eat tuna. You're in the biscuit aisle.
Biscuit? Come on.
No, okay. You're in the freezer aisle. You're in the freezer aisle. You're in the freezer aisle.
Yeah.
Searching for chicken nuggies.
Okay.
Yeah. They've got the own brand there. You don't want the own brand. You want the bird's eye.
See, I was hoping, but I was in the same aisle as you.
Why?
Like a tin dial.
Why do you want a tin dial?
Because I want to beat him with a tin of baked
you're
beans.
you're giving it away now. You're in the tin dial. You don't even eat beans. You're in the tin dial looking at your spaghetti hoops.
Yeah.
But lads, this isn't even a joke. I'm not even joking. This is Neil's diet. You're in the tin dial reaching for the branded, the Heinz spaghetti hoops.
Yeah.
Because you're classy like that.
Yeah, Megan won't get me the Peppa Pig ones.
I can get them for you if you want. There's also Hello Kitty ones. Get you them.
Yeah, I would grab the tin and repeatedly wrap it around his head.
For sniffing your arse.
Yes. What, do you think that's excessive?
I don't know if I would beat someone to death.
I didn't say beat him to death.
I don't know if I would beat someone to the point of them having, a potential serious injury or death.
In all seriousness, he would at least be knocked out.
I don't fault you for that. But I'm saying me personally, I think I'd just be kind of more stunned. Then
and just stand there.
Yeah. Just back my arse against the shelf and be like, no, please don't. I'd be like, Neil, can you come here for a second?
Like, there's just so many weirdos about.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's the fact that this guy, he's a serial hole sniffer.
Yeah, just lock him up. Lock him up. Let him try and sniff a prisoner's ass. Let him sniff Butch the bastard's ass. And see where that gets him.